June should be Minnesota's wettest month. Instead, it's been dry and much hotter than average. Rain in the forecast on Monday is unlikely to turn around worsening drought conditions. Maple Grove officials say the drought is straining local water supplies. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us why the water woes could impact other cities too.
There are many dried up lawns in the Northwest Metro, but that might not be such a bad thing.
The nice thing about the rain that we got yesterday is that we noticed a significant drop in the amount of water we had to produce.
Maple Grove water pumps work a little harder when it's hot and dry. Last week, the pumps were working more frequently to keep up with demand. The city's system has the capability to push out about 34 million gallons in a day.
Last week, we were producing anywhere between I'd say 19 million to 24 million gallons in a day.
The city has 2 water towers and 2 underground reservoirs. However, one of the water towers is offline for routine maintenance.
The high demand, not having the additional storage that we would have in this tank right here for the time being, those can put a strain on the system, yes.
Osseo, parts of Dayton, and Corcoran are also impacted by the issue because Maple Grove also supplies water to those cities.
In these drier, hotter stretches like we've been having, everybody's trying to irrigate their lawns, including Corcoran and Dayton and Osseo. So yeah, it puts a little bit more stress on our system.
Maple Grove is reaching out to residents who do a lot of lawn watering, asking them to cut back.
Try to minimize watering during the middle of the day. So we're trying to say limit your watering for between to water before 10 a.m. in the morning or after 6 p.m. at night. You don't have to water every day.
There are currently no water restrictions at this time in the city, but that could change if our drought continues.
We can't forecast what's going to happen next week.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
The Maple Grove Water Tower should be back in service by the second week of July. In other news, a new grocery store will be built in Maple Grove, one that the mayor says will provide a need for the community. Dacey Brothers Farmers Market will build a store northeast of County Road 30 and Garland Lane. It would be located between the AutoZone and Walgreens stores. Dacey Brothers, which is based in Texas, specializes in Indian and Middle Eastern foods and ingredients. The 15,000 square foot store would be part of a larger retail building, which could also include a small mom and pop restaurant or small business. For much of the past year, anyone wanting to watch one of Hollywood's new movie releases could usually do so from the comfort of their living room on one of several streaming services. But now the big screen is back. With pandemic restrictions fully lifted, many movie theaters are hoping for a bounce-back year, including one in Plymouth. Since the start of the pandemic,
the villains are always kind of the fun ones.
The thought of sitting in a dark room with strangers for an extended period of time to watch a movie seemed downright, well, Cruella.
Yes, haven't been in a theater since, March of 2020.
Now, if you visit your local cinema, you'll see that things are starting to change.
Much as streaming is great and it's convenient, there is something to say about seeing something big and loud on the big screen and also seeing it, with a group.
Tim Holly of Imagine Entertainment says most of the major studios held off on releasing their big budget blockbusters in the theaters. But with the pandemic restrictions lifted, we're going to see a fast and furious barrage of new titles.
With all the release dates kind of getting pushed for a while, it just sort of ended up where the end of this year just got stacked, where almost every single weekend there's something coming out.
Cinemas are now banking on the idea that people are ready to trade their streaming services for the big screen. Something that you can't get at home is the smell of the popcorn. It's all part of the experience. We asked some of the people here what they enjoy about being back.
Thrilled. We've been talking about it for months. We're going to be indoors in a movie theater with theater popcorn. The best part.
I love the widescreen, I love the comfort, and I like the way the people here treat me.
Yet popcorn and other amenities can only do so much. Theaters have other things planned to lure people back, starting this week with Cinema Week.
We're doing kind of double points for our members. All the theaters are doing kind of promotions. It's sort of an incentive, just like, welcome back to theaters.
After a year and a half of practically no revenue, officials at Willow Creek in Plymouth say it's too early to say that theaters are out of the woods. But with some big releases on the horizon, they're hoping that this story has a happy ending.
We'll come back healthy and strong. That's kind of the goal, at least.
Finally, this segment, a celebration in Brooklyn Center for a project to help kids facing the most difficult circumstances. That is former Viking Chad Greenway, who helped cut the ribbon on a new play space at Crescent Cove in Brooklyn Center. Crescent Cove is the only pediatric hospice and respite home in the Midwest, and just one of 3 in the United States. The new outdoor play space includes interactive music areas, a multi-use field set up like a baseball diamond, and a tree fort known as Dragonfly Tower.
But the idea was to just create this really cool tree fort, so when the kids got to see it, it'd be just this thing that they would just gravitate towards and play on and just kind of forget why they're here.
The play space is also surrounded by a plant habitat that attracts butterflies. Many volunteers and donors made it happen, including Chad Greenway's Lead the Way Foundation. We leave you this weekend with more on the new play space.